this video, we are going to talk about budgets. If you've been following my videos, you know I like to tweak budgets and spend, sometimes more than keyword bids, because obviously budgets can make a bigger impact. So first off, what I want to touch on is, say you're launching a product, and we touched on this in the very last video with the golf brush, where Kai had that one auto campaign up and he said, you know, what if I have this allocated budget, right? So quickest, easiest way to think about it. Let's say you have a $50 a day that you want to spend. This is the first thing. Set a spend goal. Don't set an ACOS goal. Don't set a tacos goal. You know you're going to have to spend. So if you have $50 a day you want to spend for 1 week, let's keep this super simple. Put most of that spend into your auto and manual. Okay, so let's do $20 a day into the auto, and let's do $20 a day into the manual, whatever. And then $10 a day for ACE and targeting, or to float around to other campaigns.
Gotcha.
But I'm going to keep saying this, is don't set it and forget it. If after 2 days your auto is pulling in all the sales and you still don't want to up your overall spend, just crank all the spend into this for a week. Okay. So just always be looking at the data. Now, this is for one ASIN. Another thing that I think a lot of people aren't aware of, and this is much more advanced, so we're going to avoid this budgets tab for now. If you come into your settings tab,
whoa,
right? So a lot of people don't know this is here. This is always what defaults to campaign level budgets. So what this will do, it'll say, hey, I have 100 budgets or 100 campaigns. They all have budgets. Use those budgets. If I come in here, a daily budget cap, if you are a small seller and you are launching 10 products, but you don't want to mess with fine-tuning all of your campaign budgets. If I set $100 daily budget cap, let me just see if I come back here. Once the whole account has spent $100, all campaigns will shut off for the day.
Oh, okay. So that has the pros and cons.
So pros and cons, you can see here, you have one campaign out of budget.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say we had a lower account level budget. All of these would be showing out of budget because they would all stop running.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So the only thing, and I can say, with jumping ahead here, is I have people, multi-million-dollar brands. We have this budget cap at $9,000 a day because they have thousands of campaigns, and we tweak this during different days of the week. We'll crank this up to $12,000 or we'll lower it to $6,000 because it's so much easier than uploading a lot of campaign level budgets.
Does that hurt them in the long run?
Yes. And that's the argument here, is don't you always want to be spending the whole day?
Yeah, absolutely.
So and I've gone through so much testing with this, and what kills me is when my clients tell me to stop spending when their sales are growing. But the reality of it is, spend is, people don't have the money to spend all the time. Yeah. So during different times of the year, they'll tell me, they're like, hey, we've really got to slow it down. We have inventory issues, right? That's the thing too. They're like, we want to slow things down. Let's put a budget cap. As long as it doesn't hurt us too much, we want to keep this very, very tight.
For inventory levels, is this a smart move?
Yes, this is a very, very smart move. So instead of going in, changing your campaign level budgets and then forgetting what they used to be, you come in here and you set this. But extremely important here, guys, this is only for sponsored products. So if you have sponsored display or sponsored brands running, and you do, so you have a couple sponsored brands, this only goes to sponsored products. If we set this, and this sponsored brands campaign has a $500 daily budget, it'll take off on its own.
Okay, good to know. Good to know.
Right. So, and that face right there, I've shown a few other people this little info thing right here, because they never knew that this was only for sponsored products. And it's very tricky that Amazon does this. So for sponsored brands and sponsored display, you don't have that option yet. You just have to give them campaign level budgets.
Got it.
All right. So that's extremely important. And then I just want to run through here. If I was a newer seller, okay. So I'm just going to go into audit mode really quickly and look at your account. If I was doing this, last 7 days, the account as a whole, spend and sales, we're spending about $150 a day consistently last 3 days. And that's up from where it was a few days ago, right? Awesome. We're increasing spend, sales is going up. Say I'm a newer seller, and I have this going here. I have $50 a day I want to spend on a product. Every day for a week, what you can do is so open up yesterday, right? And see, hey, this one spent 25, but got $100 in sales. So if I have more to spend, I'm going to want to put spend into that product right now. I'm just trying to get this ACOS up here too, right? So if you're at a tight 150, that's fine. Maybe what I would do here is add this to 40. Okay. So now I added $15. Now this one, and you guys,
it all.
Right.
Yeah.
But this is where it gets tricky. I'm only looking at 1 day of data here.
Oh, okay. I see that. Okay.
So, and if you're a smaller seller, you have the luxury of doing this yourself and really diving in. But I want to look at 7-day data and 1 day data. This one, 7 days, it's killing us. This one, 7 days, crushing it. So this, I'm just going to do a 1-to-1. I'm going to add $15 to this. I'm going to drop this by $15.
And for small sellers like me that have the time to focus on this or watching this daily, is this smart to change it daily, or should I let this ride at that same budget for a week or two or a month?
Yep, exactly. So that's why I have both of these things opened up here.
Okay.
Yesterday, I'm pulling up yesterday to see what did spend its budget. Right. So then that's why I'm opening up both of these and looking at their 7-day trend line.
Okay.
Because if maybe this one just had a bad day yesterday.
A bad day, that would make sense. Yep.
But, and you also want to be smarter. Let's go to this month, right? Still not great. So that's why once I saw these trend lines very, very obviously, that this one, 300 and 1200, this one has spent more and has had about half of the sales.
Yeah.
So right away, I know it's going to be obvious. But right, if I pulled this up and I only had yesterday chosen, and maybe this campaign was actually doing very well, and I didn't look at enough data,
then boom, you just shut down your best campaign.
Then you shut down a very successful campaign. So always take that in mind. Again, I'm going to have yesterday pulled up here, and let's do these two. So they're very low budgets, $8 and $5, and they both spent their budgets yesterday. So now I'm going to look at this month. The longer the date range, the better. So this one, honestly, not terrible. There's not enough in there.
Remember that golf, those are all brand new products. So my ACOS is going to be above the normal. They have very little reviews.
Perfect. That's why if you're a smaller seller, you should know what's happening, right? Because the software might see this and might start lowering your bids.
Yeah, shut it off.
Yep, exactly. And then this one, let's see, this month, it spent $16, right?
Yeah.
Ignore that. Keep it running.
Yeah,
or
this is a
tweak
product.
it.
I think it's a $5 product, hence why you're seeing this ridiculous ACOS.
Yep, exactly. So avoid those smaller numbers. Look for those outliers. This one, it was obvious. It was obvious we want to put spend into this one. This should honestly shift the whole account, because this one campaign is your biggest driver, right?
I'm excited.
So $15. We just moved $15 from one campaign to another campaign, and that was really it.
Okay.
So I think that's it for very high level budgets. I have so many, I have a lot of advanced videos out for budgets with people spending thousands a day, but to shift 20 bucks here and there can make a huge difference. Just don't get caught up on 1 days of data, right? Always look at multiple date ranges and longer date ranges if you can.
Okay.
All right.
One other thing before we go is if you guys want to see what we would do based on budgets versus a company that's looking to sell in 3 years, or a brand that's looking to sell in 3 years versus a brand that's looking for the long haul for recurring revenue, there's going to be 2 different ad budget strategies. So if you guys are in between those and want to know what the differences would be, let us know and we can make a video explaining those as well.
Yep, perfect. Right, we want the feedback because we're gonna try to give as much as we can. So yeah, awesome. Hope you guys enjoyed this one, and we'll keep cranking out videos for this mini series.